What's good, people? This is the Rap Roundtable. Your boy Jaw here, Sincere Rap Snob, Dini the Balance, the homie Mace. We just want to make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, help us get our numbers up. We're trying to get 2,000 subs, 5,000. Y'all know how this go. If y'all think we're good and y'all love the content, some of y'all always say, yo, how come y'all don't have more views? It's because y'all don't sub. So make sure y'all do that and tap in with us. Peace.
The Rap Roundtable.
Yes, sir. The Rap Roundtable is back on location. Fly God himself, Westside Gunn, has delivered on a new project. You already know. We didn't know at the top of the week we were getting some new Westside Gunn, and then boom, we got the news. And not only were we getting Westside Gunn, we were getting a lot of Stove God cooks.
A lot.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very happy.
I'm excited when I see that name, and it seems as though Westside Gunn has specifically tabbed Stove as his next project. We know there's other artists in Griselda. Shout out to Rome and a few other acts who,
Boldy,
you know what I mean?
Streets.
Boldy James. There's another artist in this project who got to shine a lot. His name escapes me at the moment. Can someone save me for a second?
ST-Nack? Yeah.
Talented.
But it seems like Stove is the guy that's going to get the biggest push as Griselda goes into his new era. And with this project entitled Peace. Yes, sir. And as this project is entitled Peace Fly God. I don't know how I feel about it, y'all, but it's the Rap Roundtable with your boy Jaw here, alongside Sincere the Rap Snob, alongside Dini the Balance, alongside the homie Mace. Sincere the Rap Snob, the Griselda aficionado, the person who brought Griselda to the Rap Roundtable. Give us your takes.
So sincere.
Yeah, man. So like you said, kind of a surprise drop. So what I've heard of this project, in terms of like how it was cooked up, it took him maybe 2 days to make. No mixing, no mastering, nothing. He was on the socials talking about yo, I just want to drop this. And it's a nice little project to sort of, whet the appetite and get people's palates ready for a bigger, fuller album. I'm not mad at it. It's nothing major, it's nothing groundbreaking. For a little 2-day project is cool. I kind of like how the track list was compartmentalized by producer. You had 5 joints by producer Don Carrera. Then you had 3 Madlib joints, then Conductor Williams and Derringer at the end. So he kind of sectioned it off, keeping it keeping a nice flow to it. You know what I mean? Me personally, the Madlib joints, bananas. Love them. I think when it started off with the intro, actually, let me start with the intro because I'm going to add this intro, the Peace Fly God intro, to the list of intros or skits where the beat was too fire to not have no raps over them. As soon as that beat started, I was like, oh, I can't wait for somebody to spit over this. Stove God or, ST-Nack, whoever. But then it was just a talking intro, and I was like, oh, man. I'll still listen to it just to hear the beat because the beat is that fire. But then, and that was shouts to Don Carrera. Don Carrera did that track. He did the next 4 tracks on the album too. My favorite out of his joints was Big Ass Bracelet. I thought that joint was fire. Jesus Crack was cool, but I thought I have a thing where you know me, I'm always listening for EQs and mixing and stuff. I don't like when a sample has there's a vocal sample and it's not EQ'd right, so that you're supposed to cut the high end vocal to let the raps live over the sample. But when that's not done, it irks the hell out of me. And unrelated note, that new Boldy James track that you shared, Job. Same issue with that. I dig the sample, but you gotta EQ the vocals and the sample down to let the verses live on top of it. So yeah, out of Don Carrera's joints, Big Ass Bracelet, I thought it was fire. Stove got blacked on that. Out of the Madlib joints, all 3 of the Madlib joints I thought was fire. But Derek Bowman, that was crazy. Yeah. Then Horses on Sunset though. See, now we know that when we get a Westside Gunn project, it's gonna be sparse on the drums. Yeah, we know that, right? That's the aesthetic. I'm a drums guy, so like by this point, I'm like, yo, I need some more drums. So Horses on Sunset, when those drums start knocking, I was like, this is what I need. Stove God's hook on that. I shot him 6 times. Should have shot him 7. So he could have died holy.
Holy. Oh. Oh.
So Horses on Sunset, absolutely my favorite track on the album. I don't think there was any tracks that I would call whack, but there was some tracks that were like a little underwhelming. All in all, I dig the project. The only Derringer contribution, like, you know, a 50-second outro, no raps over it. Y'all say what y'all will about that, but but I liked it. You know what I mean? It was a cool little project. I'll spin it back a couple times, especially the Madlib joints. Definitely gonna revisit those Madlib joints heavy. Probably gonna end up in my year-end favorites list. With songs, you know what I mean?
I'm not mad at that. Deanie, talk to me, bro.
Yo, I thought it was a pretty cool project myself. A lot of points Sin said. I thought the acapella moments were cool. The symmetry between Stove, Westside, and ST Nack was great. I think this might be an overstep, but I think Stove and Westside Gunn give me like old Cuban Linksy kind of vibes, the way they bounce off each other in that way. It's very the chemistry is immense. I thought my son Westside stepped his rap game up. Like in the old days, I was really just looking to hear Conway and Benny really rap, you know. But I've started to come around, and it's really since the Hitler Who Wears Hermes 8 that changed it for me, bro. Like I actually look for him to rap now, and he rapped on this project a lot more than he's rapped on a lot of projects, and he black. The one thing I didn't like about this shit is it's kind of all over the place, bro. Like if you don't look at the track list, you can't tell which song is which song is next. They kind of just flow in, even like the skitty type joints. And I thought he could have had a way better outro than the one with Derringer. That must have been a hey, you're still my guy kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Other than that, like I said, my favorite track is probably Big Ass Bracelet, and I probably go with Derek Bowman. You know me, I always got Deanie got a couple of joints. I always got at least 2 joints that's gonna stick with me from just about every album that I know I'm gonna play. Those gonna be it. Horses on Sunset, like you said, Sin was fire. I thought Dan Husson was fire too. Bobby Roode, yo, ST he's a rapper, bro. Like I like what he brought to the album. A lot of good vibes. I thought it was a good street mixtape. It gave me 90s mixtape vibes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not bad, Mace.
Dig it.
So you know, fellas, when we get to talking about Griselda, I tend to have, you know, the same look at his face on my face that Sin has when we talk about ESTG, you know what I mean? But but you know, I tapped in best as I could. You know, with me, when it comes to Westside albums, what I always struggle with the most is the song structure. You know, kind of, you know, he's very unorthodox. You know what I mean? And with you guys having been longtime listeners, I think you're more used. Your ears are more tuned in to be able to, you know, deal with it. So I always struggle with that when it comes to Westside. But I do appreciate Stove. I mean, Stove is truly a star, brother.
Immense.
Yeah, like he's definitely next up. Because it's not only his bars and what he brings to the table, but his charisma. Every time you hear him on the track, you're like, yeah, this is what I want to be hearing. I would just like to hear Westside kind of curate his albums moving forward. The ST Nack dude, I'm not the hugest fan. Past 16 bars, he gets into rambling mode for me. So I wasn't the hugest fan of his verses. Horses on Sunset is the best joint on here to me. I mirror that with Sin. As soon as it came on, I had to run it back a few times. The intro, I was pissed. Just like Sin said, I was pissed that this intro is probably would have been the best song in the album if somebody decided to spin on the intro.
You know what I mean?
So I was a little upset about that. And Jesus Crack being the song that everyone spoke about beforehand, that was the song everyone was waiting on when you were hearing snippets. I wasn't super blown away by it, but I did appreciate it. And just like you guys alluded to earlier, I believe, if I'm correct, if I did my research correct, this is the prequel to Michelle, if I'm correct. Michelle. So we I want to hear that joint. If this is, what he's just throwing out there to give the fans something, I think the next joint might be good. So it was decent. It was
2
decent.
days.
I wasn't blown away yet. 2 days. But I appreciated Stove on here for sure.
For me, I guess early takeaways before I get into the songs, I want to mirror what Deanie said about, or was it Sin? I can't remember, but the whole dynamic between Stove and Westside Gunn.
That was Deanie.
As much as shout out to you, Deanie. As much as we had the Hall and Nash aesthetic of Conway and Westside, I think that Stove is actually the spiritual partner of Westside Gunn. Like, they're both characters. And you know how Westside loves wrestlers. Like this Stove to me is his perfect tag team partner.
Yeah.
Because to me, like Conway, he is such a hell of a rapper that the divide between them talent-wise was so ridiculous that when Conway got on, you just like Westside move. Conway's
facts.
Right.
Yeah.
But when Stove and Westside get together, it's not about just the bars. It's about the creativity. It's about the cinematics. It's about the charisma and the personality. Like, they're like, if Conway and Westside were Hall and Nash, then Westside and Stove got a Harlem Heat. Like that's it for me right there. Like, these guys, they are made for one another. This is Booker T and Stevie Ray right here. And I was blown away with that. But on the negative side, I'm not a fan of ST Nack. Like, the first 3 tracks, we got the intro with no rapping. ST Nack was the first rapper we heard on this project. Right. And I immediately got concerned about this project, because I'm like, if he's rapping this long on Jesus Crack and the bars, you know what it is? I'm not saying he's whack, but ST Nack bars are not dynamic. You know what I'm saying? He's standard fare for that genre. Hard raps, coke raps, some dope punchlines. He does all the technical stuff good, but what does ST Nack do great? If you're gonna be a Griselda artist, in my opinion, you can't just be good. You gotta be great. Look at the shoes that you're gonna be filling. Benny and Conway, when it's all said and done, 10, 15 years down the road, are gonna be remembered as one of the best to ever do it. They're gonna be in all those conversations, whether you like it or not. And you have to fill those shoes. You see how Stove God is coming, and it's like, it's not his fault that Stove was on this project and he has to rap next to these 2 guys. But you gotta, what you delivered on this 2-day project is not enough. I'm sorry. Like, he was forgettable on this project. All the highlight moments of this project were from Westside and Stove God.
You know how I feel about ST Nack? Yeah. So like if you think of like Rough Riders, and then you look at the Locks and DMX, and then you look at Drag On. It's not that Drag On was
It's not whack.
It's not whack,
yeah.
But you put him up next to the, them other dudes, and it's like, you lacking a little something. I felt the same way about SC Nack.
That's a good comparison, because Drag Flow was probably better than the bars, and I'd say ST's is better than the words are better than the flow. If you get what I'm saying,
right? Yeah.
And then to piggyback on Sin's comparison, you either in that Rough Rider era, you either wanted to be Drag On or you wanted to be J Hood. We needed ST Nack to be J Hood. Remember the hype J Hood had around 02, 03?
Don't sleep, you dreaming.
That's what we need from you. So we get to the first 3 tracks and it's like, all right, the intro got no rapping, the beat is fire. Second track, we had like mad bars from ST Nack before we got to Westside, and then eventually got to Stove, and it's like, okay. And then we got to the third track and it's like, But then Big Ass Bracelet came on. I was like, okay, the project starts now. That's where it begins.
Yeah.
And we get to Big Ass Bracelet, Bobby Roode, Derek Bowman, and then we get the Horses on Sunset. That is a song that should have been promoted. That is textbook, like AP course, high level college course, Griselda aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like everything you need from Griselda, Horses on Sunset. Danhausen, fire. If you're an AEW fan, you know who that person is. Shout out to him. And he won't get sued for using his name like the WWE guys. He had to spell Bobby Roode differently because he didn't want to get sued. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to like the Wu idea of giving you raw vocals, raw beats, everything raw and uncut. And if there's a way, why instead of putting up billboards, if there's a way to start building anticipation for what Michelle is gonna be, what better way to do so than giving people a surprise tape? And it's real simple. Like you can tell he was not trying to knock your socks off. Right. It's here. Here's a little appetizer.
Yeah.
Here, let me show you how Stove God is coming, the next big star to Griselda, and get ready for Michelle. We was talking to Coach just last week. It seems like Michelle is the biggest thing in Griselda. He mentioned it in passing, talking about some other things. So obviously, all things are gearing up for this Michelle movement. So if this is what it is, I'm not mad at it. I didn't expect the classic. I didn't expect Hitler with Where's Hermes 8.
Right.
I'd like more from SD Knack, but honestly, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I need Stove God LP ASAP. We need a fourth, and he's making winter music, so we need a fourth quarter Stove God album immediately. Like, let's make this happen.
And load as much Mad Lib on that shit as you can, man. Stove God over Mad Lib. Oh my God.
Sin, I don't know, Sin. I think I like Conductor Griselda collabs more than Mad Lib Griselda.
I mean,
I like that Conductor Griselda aesthetic.
I mean, Danhausen was cool though, but these three Mad Lib joints. I mean, Open Praise.
Right.
Out of these three was like the one I liked least, but still Open Praise when compared to all the other joints on the album.
That's a great 4-track run though. Big Ass Bracelet, Bobby Roode, Derek Bowman, and Horses on Sunset.
Yeah.
Like those are just 4 heavy hitters, right? Back to back.
Yeah. I also seen somewhere real quick. I don't know if y'all saw, but I think Conway's dropping again. I think I saw it on the socials earlier this week.
For real?
Like if y'all go on his Instagram, I feel like I seen him talking about he's back working again.
I know that last project is finally out on the DSPs, on the regular DSPs.
Yeah, I finally got to tap into that.
Yeah, what has been blessed cannot be cursed with Big Ghost. Yeah. But I haven't heard about anything new. I'm gonna have to go back.
I'm gonna find a post. I found a post where he was talking about he's back in the studio again. We might get another Conway project this year.
Oh yeah, a week ago, a new album loading. Unless that was he's in the stew spitting something crazy. I remember
that was after the Big O tape had already dropped on Bandcamp.
So I guess something else is on the way.
Yeah,
okay, man. Griselda.
Yeah,
working hard.
Shouts to Westside though. I mean, again, we've talked about this. What he lacks in, barsmanship. He definitely more than makes up with in aesthetic and vision. And to your point, Jarv, like I think you're right. Like he's found like that aesthetic counterpart that he has in Stove God Cooks. You know what I mean? It's not just bars, but it's style. You know what I mean? He styles all up and down the tracks that he's on, like every time. So like that style and aesthetic is definitely like that counterpart to what Westside needs moving forward for sure.
And it works beautifully, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not mad to leave it here. We don't got to give you a half-hour breakdown for this quick tape. You know what I'm saying? We enjoyed it. We always appreciate new Westside, new Griselda. Episode 50 is on the way though. This is another momentous occasion. We gave y'all we delivered on New York Bias too. We promised you some fire. We gave you some fire. Episode 50 is another big milestone for us. Make sure y'all tap in. Shout out to you guys, fellas. We making this happen at work on the clock.
You dig? We here.
Viewers, I hope you appreciate how we coming, bro. If there's news to happen, we record anywhere. You might catch me outside one day doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with us.
Yo.
Dini, take us home, bro.
Yo, it's the Rap Roundtable. Sincere, the Rap Snob, Macito, voice of the young people, Jarv the point guard, I am Dini the balance, and we out of here.
Sir.
We out of here, gang.